From virtual reality to artificial intelligence, the use of technology can improve how we heal our mind, particularly after experiencing something traumatic. So Dr. Erin Fletcher, director of Wounded Warrior Project's Warrior Care Network, and Tanya Oxendine, an Army veteran living with PTSD, join me now with the details. Thank you both so much for joining us. Dr. Fletcher, let's start with you. How is virtual reality being used with veterans facing PTSD?
Yeah, that's a great question. And just to kind of for some context, PTSD is a disorder of avoidance, and so warriors go through life trying to avoid triggers of the painful memories that they've experienced, and that really limits where they can go and how they live their life. And so virtual reality therapy provides a safe place for that warrior to face their trauma. And it is vivid and customizable down to the sounds, the smells, the vibrations. And after that warrior goes through the virtual reality experience, they meet with a therapist to help them process their reactions and learn skills and tools to take the power back from those memories and to get back to living a full and meaningful life.
It's amazing. But how do we know that these technologies are effective? Are we already seeing results?
We are already seeing results, and so research shows that treatments like virtual reality and prolonged exposure are effective, and our Warrior Care Network program, which is our 2-week clinical program, has been using it for over a decade, and our warriors tell us it's effective. Over 90% of participants in Warrior Care Network complete the program, compared to about 50% in other programs. And 96% of them are satisfied with the care that they receive, and they would tell a friend about it. And I think the most important part is this is all done in just 2 weeks. Wow. And the results last. On average, warriors come through our program with severe levels of PTSD, and they graduate the program with moderate to mild PTSD symptoms, and those results last long after their time at Warrior Care Network.
That is amazing. Great news there. So Tanya, I have to ask, when you first heard though about virtual reality therapy for PTSD, what were you thinking? Did you think, oh, okay, this is kind of weird, or were you like, I'm jumping in on this?
Yep. Yeah, weird. I thought it was, I hadn't heard of virtual reality before. It was scary going in, but with the help of my doctors and the therapists, they were able to pull back the layers to get down to the core of, helping me and, pushing me and guiding me to, at least try the virtual reality. And it has helped so much.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about your experience with virtual reality at Warrior Care Network.
Right, so we go into a room, and we have on our headset, and we're put in front of a monitor or a computer to put us back into that trauma that we were dealing with, from down to the sounds, the smells, the sights, put you even to the point of putting you in the position you were in the vehicle, whether you're in the front seat or the back seat, and you go through this trauma in virtual reality, and then once you're done with that piece of that scenery, you're brought out of the room, and you immediately get to talk with the therapist so that we can discuss what happened and how everything went for us, to try to figure out not necessarily the diagnosis, but what treatment is necessary, the skills and resources, the medication, and how so that we can be put back into society or go back into society more healthier.
Yes. So what would be your message then for folks who might be dealing with PTSD?
Yeah, so my message to anyone that's dealing with PTSD is to have an open mind and be open to new technology and new ways of healing.
Okay. Well, Dr. Fletcher,
especially for our warriors, because they definitely deserve it.
Oh, 100%. And I'm glad that you're doing well.
Yeah,
Dr. Fletcher, though, where can we go for more information? Because I know there's going to be continued research and just developing this even further.
Absolutely. So I would encourage you to go to our website at woundedwarriorproject.org/combat stigma. And that's where you're going to learn all about Wounded Warrior Project's programs and services and how to start your journey.
Wonderful. Well, thank you both so much for joining us today and telling us a little bit about what Wounded Warrior Project does, but also your story too, Tanya. So thank you again. Thank you for your service. And if you'd like to see this interview again, just head to our website, and that's firstcoastliving.net.